and I worked for IBM for 5 years. And then I had my first son, Patrick, and I was going to go back to work, and I got pregnant like 6 months later. And that's when I had this little one here, Andrea. So I had
I'm the best mistake you ever had.
Yeah. So fast that, I really, back in the 80s, it was like full-time work or stay at home. I didn't have an option of the part-time programmer. So I decided to stay home. So over the next 20 years, I had my other daughter, Amy, and I raised them always kind of looking for something to fill the void. I love being a stay-at-home mom, but something was missing, kind of like what this void fills for a lot of you, and the extra income. So I did a lot of different part-time jobs, but they weren't that fulfilling. And then when I was like 53 or 4, my son actually had us all, he ordered P90X. He was a CPA. He ordered P90X, and he had one of his college lacrosse roommates reach out to him, and they said, there's really a business to this, a team, and he missed having a college team. So the first thing he did was, and what they said was, all you have to do is get to Emerald, sign up 2 people. That's all they told him. No other training. That's what they told him. So he immediately had all of us come. We all worked out with him. We did P90X core synergistics. He got up, he put his computer up, and he said, "Mom, you're going to be my coach." And I go, "Okay, I'm your mother. I'll do whatever you want. I don't know what it is, but I'm all in." And then he said, "Okay, you need to get to Emerald." And I go, "What's that?" And he goes, "You have to sign up 2 people." I'm like, "Okay, that's easy. Pete, you're a coach." My husband turned to him. I got my sister to sign up, and then I told them to do the same, and they just did the same. And then once Andrea started, she did the same. So I've been working this business for 8 years. There's really nothing more complicated in this business than signing, getting a challenger, signing a coach, and getting one on each leg, and starting your effort of you earn by your team effort. And so over the next 8 years, I've slowly been growing a team, Andrea included, and everyone. And I have like over 4,000 coaches on a team, and I earned $175,000 this year. So, and it just keeps going. And it's not me. It's not 100% my effort. It's the effort of the team. So it's Andrea, it's all of you, everyone that brings in people, you get a little piece of that. So this business is crazy. It's just, the sky's the limit. We say, go to the moon with this business, and you really can. It's just a matter of your mindset, following, duplicating, and getting your coaches to do the same thing. It's not rocket science. We want to keep it very simple and duplicatable. And I'm thrilled that my 2 daughters are followed and are working this business. So they were able to stay home with their kids, have a very fulfilling job working this team, and then passing it on to all of you. And also our income is residual, and it's also, you can pass it on in your will even. It's a legacy. It doesn't stop, so it's like crazy.
That's pretty inspiring. So that's why I wanted her to share. I had to call her, guys, to have her share. She was like, no. I'm like, you're 55 years old. You taught this very simple, duplicatable system. And we call her like the master of Team Boom, because it's really no harder than getting to Emerald and then helping your team do that exact same thing. And once you kind of focus it that way, then it just becomes so much more easy. You don't have to sponsor the world, but your team is helping you build your team too. So what we're going to do.
And wait, well, just one other thing. I only have like less than 20 personally sponsored coaches. So it's not like I didn't get in early enough. It has nothing to do with that. It's like building a team, and it's in that simple duplication creates this huge team, and you get a little piece of it, like 5%. So it's not like you have to have 100 coaches personally sponsored by you.
Right. And my mom always tells me, like, every day, she's like, you're literally living my dream job. Like, to be able to stay home with your kids, to be able to, like, your like, she's like, I used to drag you to the gym, work out, like, do all the same things that I'm doing. I just never was able to have like a business out of it. And so she's always like, it's such a blessing to be able to give it to other people. And so thank you for inviting me, Mom, even though
You're welcome. Thank you for kicking ass.
Yeah. And I remember as a new coach, I was very nervous to sign my new coach. Her name was Marilyn, and she was from Canada. I never talked to her. I met her on social media. She was one of my like first people. And my mom was like, just ask her. Like, ask her if she wants to be a coach. And she was like, oh, yeah, sure. But before that, my mom was like, get to Emerald. So the first thing that I did was I signed up my husband and I signed up my cousin. And that's what got me to Emerald. And then before I signed up my husband, I actually signed up my father-in-law. And so he's been a coach. So your coach doesn't have to technically always be doing the coaching side of things. It can be a discount coach too. So just be thinking of, I call it your wedding list of like people in your warm market that you feel would want to do this or help you or support you. And then we're going to go over this little guide with you guys. Hold on. And if you guys have heard this or you are an Emerald or now I want you guys to think of this as like you're a teacher. Like you're now teaching your coaches how to do that, right? Like being comfortable with doing this and talking about it. And that's kind of what this business is about, is just teaching other people kind of how you got started with, jump starting to get to Emerald. Okay, so I'm going to share this.
Okay. And we run these calls every other week, so you can just plug your people in.
Yep. Okay, so this is basically what an Emerald coach is. You're going to hear this is like when you first become a coach, you are an active coach. So that means you're only into the first earning potential, which is you get 25% off all your products. And then you also can earn 25% on anything that you sell or that somebody buys from you. So this business is not about sales. And I always say that because people are like, you must sell a lot of stuff. I do not sell a ton of stuff at all. Like I honestly help 3 to 5 people every month with a challenge pack. So if I was to rely just on my sales to create a big income, I wouldn't go far at all. So that's where we talk a lot about Emerald, and that unlocks the second way to earn, which is the easiest way to describe it is you get a 5% bonus off of anything that your coaches do or anything that their people that they bring in or any of the their customers are ordering. So in the beginning, my 5% was really small because it was like my husband and my father-in-law. So my mom was like, get to Emerald, and then it unlocks that team cycling way, and then basically try to find 5 other, we call them 5 other leaders in your downline to get started. So you plus 2. So it's basically you are a coach yourself, which I'm sure everybody signed up with a challenge pack. They have their Beachbody on demand. They're ordering their Shakeology. That's kind of how everybody comes in. And then when you get to Emerald, you're basically doing that exact same thing that you did to get in. You're just doing it with 2 people. So it could be your mom and your cousin, or your husband and your best friend. So make a list and don't be afraid to ask somebody, because honestly, how much would it suck if you found out that your best friend that you think could really do this business signed up with somebody else? Because it happens all the time. Trust me, people they want to be asked to do this. They don't know that you're looking for people. So you might as well ask. The worst that can happen is they say no, they start to, follow you, see what you're doing. And at the end of the day, you're asking them to join your team and do this together. And then you're also helping them jumpstart their fitness journey too. Do you have anything to add right there, Mom?
Yeah, basically, don't be afraid to ask people and ask them to help you. Say and share your passion for this business and that you need their help to get your business started. But along the way, you're going to help them because you're going to help them get more healthy. But there's a couple things so when you you probably came in with a challenge pack, but if you sign up a couple people that aren't going to work the business right away, which is usually like your mom, your dad, think of your aunt, somebody, you only need 50 PV. 50 PV is to be active. And if you go to your Team Beachbody account, you can look at all the products and click the details and it tells you the PV value. So they don't have to have Shakeology. Like, there's also this thing called U+2 with a credit card. You're allowed to sign up 2 people with your credit card, and in one, it can be a parent, a spouse, or a child that's at least 18 years old. So if you had like your mother and she really has no interest in the business, you could give her a share card, sign her up as a coach, and you could buy your Energize off it, you know, or something that equals 50 PV. So it doesn't have to be Shakeology. So think of that. And also say then you sign your spouse up. And if you sign up your significant other, you want to ask your upline, which is your weak leg? Because your team is helping you build one leg and the other leg is probably your weak leg, and that's where you want to put your spouse. So ask your coach to help you. If you're going to sign up your spouse, you want to put them on your weak leg. Make sure you set your preferred placement. Just ask them what that is. They can just do like quickly explain it to you, and then you'll place the coach there. And then you'd switch your preferred placement, and then you would sign up your other coach, like your mother or somebody like that. And also another thing, so you only need that 50 PV, and you also, to be active, a coach is whatever their customer buys plus whatever they buy, as long as it's 50 PV, either or, they're active. So you might have a customer that you could actually give to your spouse, and if they buy a product, that could keep them active so that you don't have to buy something. It's just a little strategy for if you're signing up 2 people. But you want to open up the second way to earn, because you start accumulating points for team cycling the minute you become an emerald. And it is a little more, but I mean, who runs a business for $17 a month? So even if you have to pay for 2 other people, because, you know, with your credit card, I mean, just think if you were opening up a McDonald's franchise, that's like $250,000. The potential with this business is crazy. Don't limit yourself with that small stuff. It's like, open up your second way to earn, get it going, start accumulating, and then you'll learn. It's like do, then learn. Just do it and then learn, and then you'll understand team cycling down the road.
This business is a lot different than like going to college. Like I went to college 4 years to be a teacher, and then I got out 4 years, and then I started teaching. This business is you learn as you go. So within the first like 30 days of you being in this group and then being in a challenge group, that's how you learn what this business is and how to, you know, sign somebody up. Once you get to Emerald, you're like, oh, that's how you get to Emerald. Then you help your, one of your coaches get to Emerald. Then you learn as you go in this business. It's not like you obtain all this info for 4 years and then you can start earning. You can earn immediately. And that's kind of the cool thing.
One other thing I forgot is military. A lot of people don't realize that a military, if they're active military, you can sign up the military person or their spouse, and they just fill out a form after they sign up, like with a challenge pack, and then they never have to pay the coach fee, the monthly coach fee. So that's huge. Or if they're a veteran, it must be the veteran that you sign up. But then they're not going to pay that $17 a month. So that's something to keep in mind also.
Yeah, that's really awesome for the military. Okay, so we went over how to get there. So why hit Emerald? You can open up that, like she just talked about, you can open up that second way to start earning, which 99% of my mom's paycheck comes from that second way of earning, by that Emerald way. Once you become Emerald, you can start to accumulate the volume. It's a stepping stone. So this is like the first, like, you're an Emerald, and not only do you get recognized in your coach page, that you're now working the business, but also Beachbody recognizes you as a coach who's an Emerald coach that's actively working the business. So to them, the corporate Beachbody is like, okay, I'm just going to grab, like Amanda, she just became an Emerald. So we are going to, if Amanda helps 3 people in the month of February, we are going to give her customer leads. And this can be really huge. So customer leads are all the people that are going on Beachbody and Team Beachbody and buying product, Shakeology and Beachbody On Demand, and anybody who's an Emerald coach and hit what we call Success Club. You're helping 3 people a month with a challenge pack. Beachbody gives you that customer. So over time, I've actively gained tons and thousands of coaches or customers from Beachbody. So I can email them, and I actually just signed up a coach who was a customer who I just emailed and told her she could get a discount on her Shakeology. So that's kind of cool that they give you that, because they're like, this person's working their business. You're starting to build a team. It gives you credibility. When you're an Emerald and you hit Success Club, so you're helping 3 people a month, there's this thing called the Success Club trip. So this year we're going on a cruise to Haiti and I forgot where else. Haiti and somewhere. Bahamas. And for helping people, 3 people a month, 3 to 5 people a month, I can go for free and bring my husband. So we're going on this all paid for inclusive trip on this cruise in March. And then next year it's Punta Cana. So you can earn that trip for your family. So you can bring, you get one spouse, and then some people bring their kids, and you can bring whoever you want. So that's another really cool thing.
So just to touch on that one more time, is that Success Club is huge. Like the first thing you do, you sign up as a coach, you ASAP, you get yourself to Emerald, and then you're, working on your warm market first, and then you're using either Instagram or Facebook, and you're sharing your story, inviting people, getting more eyes on your journey, and then you're shooting for Success Club every month. And to get those 3 to 5 people, you can see how you're going to grow your business. So either they come in as coaches right off the bat, or they start out as challengers, and then they get the results, and then they fall in love with the system, and then they want to do what you're doing. You sign them up as a coach, you plug them in, get them to Emerald, and basically that's all there is to this business. So if you hit that benchmark every month, you're going to be growing your business. You're planting seeds, and over time, we say basically like 3 to 5 years, you could be having a 6-figure income. Some people do it faster because they're going at a faster pace. Some people go a little slower, but within that time, you should be, that's a very feasible goal.
Cool. Yeah, and don't ever discount anybody. Like, I've signed so many coaches that were just a discount for a couple months, and then all of a sudden they're like following me on social media, and they're like, I'm doing this business. Like, I'm going to do this with you. Like Melissa, who's on this call, she was actually a discount coach for a while, and then was like, okay, I'm all in. I'm going to do this business now. So there, you could come in as a discount. They could come in as a discount coach, like we call that, but then they could all of a sudden be like, I want to start to earn a little bit. I want to help people. I want to build a team. So it doesn't really matter.
What do you say, Andrea? Every time she goes on a Success Club trip, she signs coaches because they're watching you. They're planning. They're working on their own journey. They don't want to do what you're doing. They don't get results. They see you having results. You're earning money. You're going on trips. All of a sudden it's like, all right, I'm in, but you don't know when that is. It can be a year. So right. That's why you have to show up.
Yeah. The consistency of, showing up on your Instagram stories and posting, 2 to 3 times a week. That's huge, because the whole point of this business is to build trust with people, that you believe in yourself, because you're doing this with or without them. You're still going to do this. You're getting results. You're having a great time. You're helping people, and they see that you keep showing up and you're consistent. And that's where they start to see you as a leader, that somebody that they would be like, okay, if I join their challenge group, like, she's not going to ghost me. Like, she's going to be there. She's going to show up, so that's why the consistency is so important in this business. And if one of the biggest things that my new coaches will say is like, well, I don't know how to run a challenge group, or I don't know what to say. It's like, we do this together. Like, what is this saying? I do, we do, you do. So I have all my new coaches just add their new people. If you sign a coach or your mom or somebody, you put them in our challenge group, and we do this together. And that's kind of the beauty of this business, is like, you're not ever alone. You have to kind of do your own consistency and show up and invite, but you could pop somebody on this call and have us, explain it, or get them in the challenge group. So that's kind of the beauty of the business, is you do it together.
And the coach sneak peeks and the challenge.
Yeah. Okay. So
and make sure you stay till the end, because we have a special guest that's going to share. Like, she was on our first call, and how she took action.
Okay. So I'm not going to really go into that because it doesn't.
Well, just show them the picture.
Okay. So basically this person so you're the diamond, right? And then you personally sponsored this yellow person, which is on your weak leg. That would be your spouse. Like my husband is the first person I put on my weak leg because it's a controlled business center that I can control. I control my husband's kidding. I don't control him, but I can buy product off of his account. Like he doesn't actively work he does drink Shakeology, Energize, so I can buy stuff off of that account to keep it active. But as you grow your team, you can see like this person, let's just say, for example, I sponsored my cousin Susie. She sponsored her cousin Sally. And then let's say Sally was like, I have like my best friend Vanessa like wants to do this business. So I'm like, sign her up. So then she signs her up on her, over here. And then maybe Vanessa has somebody that wants to do it. And then they're signed up, she signs them up. So you can see like the business will gradually grow as you're doing your vitals, and then you're finding 5 people that also want to do the business with you. And so let's just say they signed up 2 coaches, and then that turns to 4, 8, 16, 32. I'm really bad at math. 34, 64. Like it's
so the main thing is that you're going to reach so many people that you don't know. Like Andrea said, if you sign up Mary and Mary signs up her husband Bob, like you don't know Bob, you don't know her mother, you don't know all these people, but you get a little piece of all that action. And where it comes from actually is it's human beings. Every one of these people are human beings consuming product. Every product has a PV value. So that's a number. So when people post in your coach group, that's all it is the PV they brought in. It's whatever they sold to their customers or whatever they bought themselves. And then they sign a coach up and they have to put them on your left or right leg below you. And then whatever that person buys is a product and it has a value. Like Shakeology is 90 points. Everybody probably knows that. Energize is like 37 points. So you can see if you have coaches that are working the business, they're going to bring in a lot more points because they're going to sell a lot of stuff to challengers or to challenge packs and to customers. And then they're going to convert them to coaches. And then they're going to try to get their coaches to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. So it's all these people working the business, but it's not you. Like Andrea said, you have like 3 to 5 that work the business, and then they just blow up your volume. And it's just human beings consuming product.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
And that's the cool thing. Is like I'll have my coaches go into their graphical genealogy, and they won't have sponsored a couple of the girls, but they'll be like, "Who's Melissa?" and who's Sarah? And I'm like, well, they're not personally sponsored by you, but I brought them in and they're going to benefit you too. And that's kind of the team effort of this business. And that's why it's so awesome, because you're not just doing everything by yourself. You are working as a team. You want your team to be successful. Anybody that you bring in, you want them to be successful. You want to give, that's why we give everybody so much. We're like, here, use this, because we want people to be successful. Whereas if you're in another corporate, sometimes it's like, a lot of times it's just you working, you're not working as like a huge team. And that's why you can see like some of the girls on our team will go off, they'll make their own team. So it's really, really cool, like the lives that you can touch and the people you meet by the people that, your team is bringing in.
So just show them quick those numbers, just quick, the other way. Yeah, the more you want everyone to be successful, because it all benefits you. Also, and you want your coaches to earn income and stay. Oh, what happened? You can't go down?
No, I think it's up. Sorry.
Is it the other way?
There's like flip them around.
Oh. Yeah. Just quickly, if you ever go into your coach online office to monitor your business, you can go over and see your team volume. And it's under, it's under compensation, I think. And you'll have a left and a right leg. And that's all that is. Those coaches that were on that left leg, they're all bringing in every week. They just are consuming product. And if your coach buys Shakeology that week, it's 90 points. So they just accumulate it up. We're not going to get into this today, but it's just, that's all it is. And then there's a formula with it. And you can figure that out later, but that's what it's all about.
Should I have Ashley share first, or should I go over this?
Why don't you just do this really quick and then have Ashley share?
So everything in this business is action. So, I see a lot of coaches will like watch. But if you're not taking action, then it's, that's one of the most important things is doing that. So I just want to leave you guys a little bit of homework. So the action plan, I'm a teacher, so I'm like, here's your homework. So sign up a controlled business center. So that's the number one thing that everybody should be thinking about. Who can I have that will help me with this business? And if it's your spouse, like hands down, that's the person that you said sign up first as your controlled business center. And you can ask your coach, which leg is my weak leg, so I can sign up. Where should I put my husband? Or your partner or your mom. Number 2 is make a warm market hot list. So I call this like your wedding list. So just like my mom's like 1 of 6, and she like literally reached out to all 6 of her siblings and took them. Or your hot list would be like, who would you invite to your wedding? Who do you think that could benefit from this challenge group? Who do you think that could benefit from being on this team? Think of your college friends. Think of like the moms around you. Think of coworkers. Think of, your warm market. That's kind of where you're going to start with this business. And then slowly you'll move into like what we call your cold market.
And one point to that, don't make the decision for them. Like in your mind, don't go, oh, they won't want to do this. Because you don't know if they want to do it or not. Like, don't make that decision. Ask them and explain it to them.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I've literally missed the chance to invited people a couple of days late, and they become like elite coaches. Like, I can't even tell you the amount of people that were like, oh, I already signed up with this person when I first started, because I was just too scared for myself to do it. And I'm like, kick myself now that I didn't do that. So just reach out to them in the best way that you could do. Maybe you call them, maybe you text them. Pick up the phone and just say, hey, I'm doing this amazing challenge group. I feel awesome. I'm working out 20 minutes at home. It's, you streamline your workouts. You could do this challenge group with me. Like, what do you say? Like, it doesn't have to be this drawn out big thing, but invite them to do it, because you would have never have known about this opportunity if your coach didn't invite you. And I always say that when I'm like thinking about, oh, I don't want to invite that person. I'm like, no, because if my coach didn't invite me, I wouldn't have known about these challenge groups. I wouldn't have been able to stay home with my kids. Like, this whole community nobody knows about unless you reach out and you just ask them. So just kind of get over that and just do it. Be the coach you crave. So, show up in your challenge group, text your coaches, show up in the groups, stuff like that. And then number 5 is belief, which we're going to talk a ton about in this group, is mindset and belief in yourself. Because belief is not something that you just automatically, some people come in with it and they just have it, but some people you have to work at it. And that's why we have these groups. We talk a ton about personal development, building your confidence, because that's kind of where you're going to get it, is from growing it, just like your workouts and stuff like that. Okay, so that's your action plan. And then in the group, we'll have you guys just come up with your list. I don't care if it's pen and paper, whatever it is, come up with your warm market of people that you feel like you can ask. Okay, so Ashley.
Hi guys.
So Ashley, we just started. I got back from like a leadership conference, and I was like, I'm just gonna start doing these Emerald calls, because that's kind of how I built my business, and I felt like it just made total sense for me. So I was like, I'm going to do these calls every other week, and I'm just going to do them even if like nobody shows up, just like normal. And I had like 2 people on, then I had 3, then I had 4, and Ashley showed up on a call at the end of November.
It was our first call.
Oh, it was our first call, which I believe was end of November. And
it was the first week in November.
Yeah, yep. So first week in November. I'm going to do this so I can share your stuff, share screen. Okay. So it was the first week in November, and she kind of was in the business. Like, she joined actually in April, but she was just in our coach group, kind of like floating around like one of those like lost fish, like finding Nemo. And she's like, I'm going to get on this call and I'm going to do this. So why don't you share a little bit about how that helped you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I joined Beachbody in April, and actually my coach is on here, Lauren, and she signed me up as a discount coach. I did it just for the discount. I worked out religiously from April, May, June, and in July I had a miscarriage, which pulled me back and put me in a depression. And then come October, I was like, I have to get out of this, and I told myself I was going to do it. So I went in big. I started working out again. Lauren brought me to a Super Saturday. By the time I left that, I was like, I need to work this business. Like, Ashley was there, and I like got emotional while she was telling her story. And I was like, I want to be on a stage one day. I want to tell my story. I want to be them. I want to do this. And that was it. So then I got on your guys' call on the Tuesday after the Super Saturday. Actually, it might have been 2 weeks later. I got on your guys' call, and you guys told me to make my action plan. I made a few phone calls. I called my best friends. I didn't even sign my husband up at first. I literally called my two best friends, and I told them they didn't have a choice. I said, if I was selling candles, if I was selling t-shirts, would you guys support me? Yes, we would. And I said, okay, so I am going to be doing a fitness business out of my house, and I'm a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids. And I babysit kids, so I don't leave my house very much. And I said, you guys are going to do this with me. And I got lucky. Okay. They both signed up. It was very simple, but I did build my warm market. I did go through my warm market. Some people are hesitant, like you guys said, but you never know until you ask. And I didn't know that my best friends would just do it because I asked. They just did it because they're like, I need to support her. And I made it a very clear point to state that if it was any other business, would you think double? If I was opening a store downtown, would you come to it? Yes, we would come to it. Okay, so what's the difference? Mind you, one of my girls is down 20 pounds. And she doesn't work the business, but she does buy her shakes. But she is killing her workout. She said, I've never wanted to wake up and work out. And she looks forward to her workout. So it's changed her in that way. And I will say that you have to ask. Like, you legit have to ask. I just had a girl sign today. Literally, I've never met her before. She was friends with my husband on Facebook. They went to high school together. I randomly friend requested her. I sent her a message out. She signed within 24 hours. So she's like, I see your posts. I went through your Facebook. I scrolled. She's like, I'm ready to do this. And she has a mom that's 8 months old. I've never met her in my whole life. She lives 3 hours away from me. And it literally is just asking. That's all you have to do. You have to come way out of your comfort zone, and you have to, and yes, there's going to be points where people are going to tell you no, and it does get discouraging, but you have to remember that maybe they say no today. And Annie, you've taught me this 100%, doesn't mean it's no forever, because they continue to watch you. I know, because people have come back and said, when I get my taxes back, can I join now? Sure, why not? Like, that's fine with me. Like, whenever you're ready and you're comfortable. But to get to that emerald is really the making of, like, you feel, I want to say you almost feel like you're doing something at that point. Like, you're like, I don't know, I hang my emerald little sign up next to my desk, and I love it. And you feel like there's 2 people there that you're helping. So right now, and yes, my son is watching because he is all up in my business. But yeah, so but you, like, as the people build, you're like, I'm helping every one of these people, even if they don't stay, even if they fall off or they come back, you literally feel like that person is getting something out of what I'm doing to help them. And you feel great about it. And as of this week, I hit diamond. So hopefully on Thursday, fingers crossed, I think we've all looked at it at this point.
Yeah.
That would mean I hit diamond within 90 days. So, and yes, I do stay at home with my kids, but I don't have time to work my business full time. It is pockets of time. I work 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. It is literally stepping out of that comfort zone and telling yourself that you can do it. I tell myself every day I'm a diamond before I was even a diamond, because I was going to be a diamond, whatever I had to do, I was going to be a diamond. And it literally is a mindset. And I know that anybody can do it. And I hope one day I'm with you guys up there in the 6 figures. Like, that's my goal. I've already been starting to say it to myself. 2020, 6 figures. Like I've been saying it. So it is literally just a mindset, and step out of that comfort zone and use Annie. Use the resources that she puts on the coach, the boom. I'm telling you, the coach website, she puts like responses, she puts how to invite, she puts everything, and just use your words. Use you by how she teaches you. We don't have to know what we're doing. Annie and Beth teach us everything we need to know, and you just make it you. Right. Just be you, and people will love it. That's what I got, Annie. What else do you need from me?
No, I totally agree. Like there's no reason to recreate the wheel. And I feel like that's why our business, our, team has grown so fast, is because we give you everything to kind of, how to talk to somebody or how to ask about coaching or anything. And you just kind of spin it in your own words in your own way. And you're going to find that you're going to gravitate towards your own niche of people, and they're going to gravitate towards you. And it's like so weird, how you'll go to Summit or one of these live events and everyone's team is like, they're kind of like the same person. And you're like, what the heck? But there's definitely a point, I feel like, in a lot of coaches where they start getting outside their comfort zone, and then they come into the nose. And I know that this happens to like all of us, but you have to really have that mindset, and you have to do personal development literally hands on every single day. If I ask a coach, like, what got you to Diamond, or what made you hit Success Club, or, how did you help that coach get to Diamond? They're like, I've been reading personal development every day, or I'm listening to it, or I'm, Ashley said that she kind of does I do it too, like in pockets of time. So I said, throw on YouTube, go on YouTube and type in personal development. It is everywhere. And it can totally change your mindset and help you actually come up with posts to share and things like that. Do you guys if you guys have a couple of questions for Ashley? Is that okay, Ash?
Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely.
Anyone have a question?
I don't know where Robin lives, but I'm down for road trips. And when Annie was just saying about personal development, there was a point in December, and I got a lot of negative responses in December. I was getting extremely discouraged, and I reached out to Annie, and I was like, I don't know, like, I thought I could be Diamond quicker than this. I thought I could keep going. And she's like, you need to just relax. You need to pull out your personal development. And since that day, Annie, I think I've missed 2 days since we've talked. And I made it my New Year's resolution, more or less, that I wouldn't miss my personal development. And I listen to it in the morning before I work out. And I read every night now in bed, and it helps me actually sleep. And right now I'm reading Shaun T's Tea for Transformation. Every night before bed, I read like 10 pages. That's it. And mind-blowing. If anybody hasn't read that book, you guys need to all read that book. Put that on your to-do list after we're done with our building book, or what that Annie said we all have to read. Yeah, after we're done with that one. I just got that in the mail today. But after we're done with that one, Shaun T's book it really makes you think. It really does. And I do use my personal development for my daily posts. I do.
Yeah, it gives you, everyone's like, how do you know what to post and say? I'm like, honestly, I grab a little, I listen to personal development like you do, and you grab something that relates to you, and that's kind of what helps you with the sharing and the posting, and definitely the mindset behind this business. That's so important. That's what we're going to be focusing on, because everybody can do it. Honestly, anybody can do this business. It's just deciding that you want to take ownership of your business, like Ashley did. She was like, I'm done. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm doing this. You have to take ownership of it, and then you have to work, on your mindset and being consistent, because that's huge too.
Yes. Consistency is key. Yes.
And just like Ashley, I hear no every day. Like every single day, I hear no. I think I heard no like 10 times today. It's not like people just jump into my lap and are like, take me to paradise. Like I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I'll follow up with you next month, or I will even, like, if people are watching my stories, I'm like, I see you creeping me. Like, I've already invited you 5 times, and you're like, right? I see
and
you.
They do
like,
creep. Hardcore.
And so somebody that you're going to, and, somebody that Ashley would be talking to right now, like, they're probably going to join her. Like, they're going to follow her. They're going to watch her. And then they're going to know who, they're going to relate to her, and then they're probably going to join her come like March, April, you know? So
what is Elizabeth's question? Can you repeat it? What do you want me to repeat, Elizabeth? She probably is muted. Oh, the book, Elizabeth, I'll post it in the group for you. She's part of my world, so I'll post it in the group. I'll post a bunch of books for you.
Wow, I think we've really created a leader here, Annie.
I'm trying.
Leader of leaders, her people. That's good.
Annie, my son wants to know what you went to school to teach. He's driving me.
Elementary teacher. I was an elementary teacher.
So everything. He's literally like, what does she want? What was she teaching? Like,
I taught first and then third grade.
Perfect.
Yep.
Good. Feel better. Okay, he feels better now. And I would just like to subnote this: if anybody does have children, like I do, like they watch insanely. My daughter, and this is just a proud mom moment for a moment. My daughter just ordered motivational quote bookmarks for her Valentine's Day gifts.
Oh, that's so cute.
Because my world is motivational quotes and everything is about motivation, and she listens to my motivation stuff with me, and that was what she wanted to get her friends. So it's everywhere. You just got to live it.
Yeah, exactly. I know, and that's the cool thing is that you do it in pockets of time. You do it what works for you. Nobody has more time than somebody else. You know, everyone has different things going on, and so the great thing about it is that you can just do it in pockets of time. What works best for you. But when you hear people say like you got to do a power hour, that's basically going through the BAT, which I posted. Making sure that you're going through there, and the BAT, that thing. It's literally laid out for you. Like, check it off, do it, and you'll start to see once you consistently do those things and those small actions, you're going to start to see people, following, coming to you, or you're going to relate to people, and that's where you're going to start to hit diamonds. So,
are you recommending that 100 invite thing?
I'm not sure what that is.
Okay, I'll talk to you about it later, and then we can talk. And then if you want to do it, you can put it in the group.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's like a 1 day, 100 invites in 1 day thing.
Yeah, people do invites differently, but I definitely will like do, I was like heavy inviting right the end of last week and then this week.
Well, I did it over the weekend, and I've gotten like 6 people out of that, and it was a lot. I won't lie, but it did make an impact. And I don't know if that's something once a lot of these people hit emerald, if they're not emerald, if they're pushing for a diamond, I think that it did help me because it was just a blow. Like it was like a big blow. Like I literally over the weekend, I invited 100 people.
And then this week you're like going.
And now they're responding, and I'm talking to them all. And I have 2 signed up today and 1 tomorrow. So it's like, it's just now they're coming at like out of the woodwind kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, if you're talking to people, you're going to get more action. If you're only inviting like 2 people a day, you're not going to get as much action. So it depends on how fast you want to grow it, Yay. Okay. So we have any other last questions for her? Killing it. You'll see her recognition on Thursday. Which is awesome, and everybody can do exactly what she just did, which is so cool.
And anybody can reach out to me, Annie. I mean, I don't know everything by any means, but I'm more than willing to help in any way I can.
Awesome. Yep. So she's in the Dash to Diamond group and then in our coach group. So just send her a message. I mean, like everybody wants to help everybody. So that's awesome. Her sponsor is Lauren, which is Elizabeth Grimes' cousin. And Elizabeth Grimes and I went to college together. So that's how we all connected. Like, I don't know Ashley and I didn't know Lauren, but I went to school with Elizabeth and she signed with me. So see how it works? Like, so cool. All right. Well, if you guys have time, you can jump on the Team Boom call, which is a different link. It's probably in your coach group or in the Boom fam. And those are every night at Tuesdays at 8. So, all right. We will see you guys tomorrow. And Keith Callahan, the author, the Millionaire Club guy, is going to be our call. He's going to be going live for us tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys.
Wait. And then on Thursday, I'm going to do the compensation, but I'm going to go into the detail of that cycling and how how you calculate it and how you your second way to earn, so that you'll understand it. We just brushed over it this time.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that Thursday, probably at 10 o'clock in the Diamond Group.
Yep, she's just gonna go live. Yep. So, yay! Thank you guys so much for your time and jumping on here, and we will see you guys in the group in like 0.5 seconds. Bye. See ya.
Bye.